Hi everyone, welcome back to my space. Hope you are all doing well. So today we are going on a road trip. I was asked by my company to go to work on a mountain, and I said, why not? Let me take you people along with me as we go on this journey. And as we are going to be discussing something very important, which is this big word, or will I call it a small word? Fear. Those four-letter words has kept so many people from achieving or being who they want to be in life, who they are supposed to be, who they are meant to be. It has stopped them from achieving what they are supposed to achieve. Are you afraid of anything? Just like pause a little bit and try to think about it. What are you actually afraid of? What is that thing or that person that each time you hear their names or you think about those things and you just freak out? You don't want to hear this thing. In the Bible, Job talked about that the things he has feared has actually happened to him. Fear is actually a magnet. Fear is a magnet of negative things. Maybe you're afraid of a negative things, fear will just go and bring it. And each time the enemy wants to do anything wrong, he'll first of all put the fear of that thing in you. And when you accumulate it and assess it and try to assimilate it into you, it will then come to reality. So that is one of the tricks of the enemy. So I just want at the end of this video for you to check yourself, know that thing you are actually afraid of, and then dare that thing. Fear is defined as a strong and unpleasant feeling or emotion caused by perceived danger. So it is perceived. I will choose the word perceived danger. Those danger might not be real. For example, somebody is afraid of accidents. You've not had the accident, but that fear of accidents will actually attract the actual accident. So whenever you notice you're afraid of something, what I always advise people is to rebuke that fear and then do that thing. I want to give a backstory of what happened to me when I started riding my bicycle. So I noticed that children, if you've stayed in the Western world, you find out that even children, they ride bicycle very well and they travel kilometers with it. So that I noticed that if they want to go to the garage, they will just go in there with their bicycle. But each time I want to go into the garage, because it's quite slopey, I will just come down. So the first day I tried it, I actually fell from my bicycle. You know what I did? I went back, went up and went down. I did it 2 times and I said, okay, I've conquered this fear. And since then the fear was gone because I did not keep on pampering it. So let us stop pampering fear in you, so that it will stop attracting those things you actually pampered. Or have you been afraid of a sickness? If you notice during COVID, what COVID did was try to paralyze people with fear. And once you are not afraid of it, you start seeing the symptoms, and before you know it, it will start doing what? Manifesting. So fear is an enemy. Fear is a torment. Even the Bible says so. Fear is a torment that you need to get rid of in your life. If you really want to achieve anything, if you really want to get anywhere in life, you need to do what? Remove fear. I actually define fear as false evidence that appear as real. So they're not real, they appear as real. For example, you might be looking at this thing might just be a flimsy something that you can just deal with, and before you know it, the enemy will just magnify it, and you are there, you are crippled by that fear, you are not stepping out. Well, let me give you a backstory of what actually happened to me on how I conquered the fear. Why we continue on this road trip. When I got my driver's license, I just started driving. Okay, I learned driving with a manual car, but when I finally got my driver's license, we had an automatic car at home, so I started using automatic car. And if you've driven the both cars, you know that it is easier to switch from manual to automatic and very difficult to switch from automatic to manual, because manual is calculative, you have to have all the skills, you have to know what to do at the time, but automatic is just an easy life, if you know what I mean. Okay, so it was quite not easy for me. So when I just started driving automatic, I started enjoying it, so I forgot the skills I learned during my training on how to drive a manual car. So I drove automatic for years, over 7 years, over 8 years, if I would say. So now at those points, I've started working, and my company needs to give me an official car to be going on my work. So I needed to take, and because of I don't know how to drive a manual car, I refused to take the official car. I was like, when they bring it up, I was like, I don't need it. But actually, it is quite convenient for me to go with an official car, so that they can just take care of their fueling and all that. So, but because of that, I just continue. Because of that fear of driving a manual car. So on a day came, I just have to, okay, and they gave it to me, and it was a manual car. So I have to get to work. And the first day they gave it to me, they sent me to a mountain. Can you beat that? So my way going, I was just calculating. There are 2 ways to get to this place, but the other way is quite far and I don't have the time. The shorter way is just this mountainous road that is very difficult to drive even with an automatic car, but that is very short way, very free road. That actually taught me something. The places that are difficult in life are just few. If you look at, there are many people that are average, but there are just few people that are on the top, and it's not actually very easy to climb up. It is quite very smooth and easy to fall down. So now, when I was just going on that journey, before I would get to the actual mountain to start climbing, I was just calculating. So I just remembered stories of how people told me on how to drive manual. So I had to make a call because I don't even know the actual gear to use and climb a mountain. So I was thinking maybe the higher the gear, the better. In my mind, I was like, okay, I'll go with gear 4. When I made a call, the person told me, no, you don't have to go with gear 4. You're supposed to start with, first of all, gear 1, move it to 2. Depending on your speed, you have to get to gear 3. I just told you how to do it, okay? So if you're going to be climbing a mountain on a manual shift gear car, you have to start, first of all, with gear 1, then change to 2. 2 is the appropriate one. 2. Then if your speed is quite high, you can now move it to 3. But I don't think you should exceed gear 3. Okay, because if it's a mountain, you don't need to exceed gear 3 for it to be able to push on. So that day, one might not say, you have to go here. I was afraid. I was shaking, literally. I was shaking, But I said, the courage in me said, no, you have to. You don't just have to limit yourself to just going on one road. And this road is shorter and you don't have the time. So you can just do it today and then have it in your mind that you did it one day and then you can learn from it. Besides, this place, Veneto, is quite full of mountains, and it will not be the first time and it will not be the last time I will go on mountains. So each time I'm going on mountains, I should now be looking for alternative routes. I said no need. People climb it. I've seen even people, truck drivers, they go on it, okay? So why shouldn't I go? Why shouldn't I try it out since someone has told me what to do? And unfortunately for me, on that day, when you're going to mess up and drive, you just be wishing that nobody is following you, okay? Unfortunately for me, a smarter driver was following me on that day, and I was like, okay, I cannot just move by the left to allow this person to pass, because by the left you see valleys. It's a very tight road, so by the left or by the side, if I want to really park and allow somebody to pass, it is a valley. So it's either you fell into the ditch, you roll backwards, or you keep on going forward. So I told myself 2 things are involved. You have to keep on going. No turning back, no retreat, and no surrender. So I engaged my first gear and I started moving. Then I switched to the second gear and voila, I climbed up that mountain, and I then parked, because when you climb up, then there were houses there. Then I parked and I turned and looked at myself. I told my beating chest, I said, you calm down. You've been beating for a long time. Let me speak to you. There is nothing difficult in doing this. And I want to speak to you. There is nothing difficult in doing that thing that you fear. People are doing it. It's people that are building houses. It's people that are starting out business. Is there anything that you want to embark on and you are so afraid of it? Get the needed knowledge. Just as I made a call, and call the person. No, it is ignorance that keep people in bondage, not because there is no solution to their problems, not because there is no way out of it. In anything that you see yourself that you are still trapped in, you don't want to you are finding it difficult to come out of it. It's not because there is no way out. It's just because you've not gotten the appropriate knowledge. Once you get the appropriate knowledge, no matter how bent the road is, no matter how rough the road is, all you need to make up your mind is, I will continue going. I always tell myself this. I'm not in competition with anybody. I am not trying to beat up anybody. I am just in competition with myself. I am just putting myself under pressure. I am just making myself to be the best version that I can be per time. You are not under pressure, but you are under pressure for just yourself. And if people can do this, you can also do it. There is no limit to what you can do. Just kill that fear. Okay, just kill that fear and pursue it. And I want to tell you, from that day till today that I'm making this video, I have gone to mountain areas with a manual shift car, and by God's grace, it has been smooth journey all the way, and it will continue to be a smooth one. So I don't know what you're afraid of. I don't know what has held you in captive. I don't know what has presented itself and tried to be like that mountain. Now, maybe it's a mountain of education, because you feel that, oh, your mate has, and all this, like, my mate has done this, my mate has done that, and you've not done it. I don't know what it is. I don't know how difficult it looks like, but just know that it is just a mirage. The real thing is never on the surface. The real thing is deep down. It's either you dig down deep to get it, or you climb up high to get it. And you know the better version of this, each time I climb up to these mountains, after I finish my work there, I try to spend much time there, because the air there is very clean, it's very free. You know, it's not like congested like the air we breathe in on the valleys or in the city. You know, so I take my time, and there are a few people that is not populated, because it's only people that live on the mountains. Because before you can live here, you should also have first a good engine, a very well prepared house for the winter seasons, and everything. It's not easy to live on the mountains. Okay, so I just enjoy the air, I enjoy the liberty, I enjoy the freedom. In fact, I will just ease myself for at least 30 minutes. I'll just free myself from everybody that is on the valley. So my dear brothers and sisters, I don't know what you're afraid of today. Look at that thing in the face and say, I am more than you. Even the Bible says you are more than conqueror. And because you are more than conqueror, you can do exceedingly, abundantly, more than you can even imagine. Okay? So do not cripple yourself. You are the one holding yourself back. Do not cripple yourself with fear. Do not let the devil put all those negative ideas in you, telling you cannot make it. Kill that negative thought. Even if you fall, so stand up and pick up yourself and continue moving. Don't be afraid of trying. Don't be afraid of moving forward. Don't be afraid of, just like I told you, two things are involved. Is if I go back, I am rolling back and I might fall into because all these mountainous roads, their roads are never straight. It is bent, and it is not straight. It's either rough. So if I am going to continue, I must continue to move. And because I must continue to move, I am not looking back. And when I'm not looking back, it is just forward ever and backward never. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this road trip to Mountaner, Veneto, Italy. Until I see you in my next one, remember, always love yourself, appreciate yourself, and celebrate yourself at all times, because only you can do that for yourself. Thank you so much. Bye.